Charles Purcell presents.
So, as far as the resistance, how do you feel that we're doing? How is the resistance? Are we succeeding? Are we doing what we need to do? How do you feel about it right now?
I'm very disappointed that there's not a lot more happening. I'm heartened by the action that I do see.
Okay.
I've been seeing a lot more video footage, taken, of course, by people with their phones, of people resisting ICE agents out in the field. You know, the plainclothes or military-garbed ICE agents, their faces masked, abducting people in the streets. I'm seeing a lot of resistance in that area, and that heartens me. But generally speaking, looking at the big picture, I'm pretty disappointed in where the resistance is right now. I think we need to be much more visible, much more out there. We've seen examples in other nations where literally millions of people are filling the streets of major cities night after night for weeks or months at a time.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing that. So let's just continue to support each other and encourage each other. I think we have to get there.
And if we don't do it, I mean, there's nobody coming to save us, right? It's up to us. You and I talk about this all the time.
As we often say around here, we're not asking politicians, we're not asking judges, we're not asking so-called leaders to do the right thing, please. No, it's very different. We're not going to ask anybody for anything. We're going to demand justice.
Yeah, it's not really the same thing, is it? There's a difference.
There's quite a difference between asking politely for help and demanding the justice and the representation that we deserve.
Yeah.
There's quite a difference there.
Yeah. And, for years, a lot of us have been warning about this. The whole authoritarian fascism, since Reagan, really, we've been warning about the overreach of the right wing. So we've been in this long-standing pattern of talking about it as a danger on the horizon. But we have to change our mindset. It's no longer on the horizon. It's no longer just imminent even. It's here. Yeah,
we're here. It's no longer, for such a long time, many of us were warning, we're on the brink of authoritarianism, or fascism is creeping into the American system, or we may or may not be in a constitutional crisis. It was always this sort of speculative debate. Well, are we there, or how close are we, or how bad is it? No. We're there.
Yeah.
And historians are pointing out that Hitler and Putin and Orban and others took years and years to accomplish what MAGA and the Orange Menace have accomplished in a matter of weeks.
Right.
And I'm sorry, if you don't like the Hitler comparison, well, as those same historians point out, it's not where Hitler and the Nazis finished, namely the Holocaust, but where they started, with othering people, Jews especially, but also LGBTQ people, the Romani, others. The capture of government, basically seizing all powers of the courts and the legislature, concentrating all the power into one man. Vicious attacks on the media, on universities, academia, the use of political violence, crackdown on dissent, in bed with oligarchs, etc., etc. We are very, very much on our way. At this point, we can even make concentration camp comparisons. What else do you call it when you're sending legal residents and threatening U.S. citizens with human trafficking to literal torture and death camps in places like El Salvador and South Sudan? If that's not an apt comparison, I don't know what is.
Yeah. What else have you got?
This is this might be more of a pet peeve. I don't know.
Okay, we like pet peeves.
Pete Hegseth.
Oh, Pete Hegseth, everybody's favorite. What's he up to?
Pete Hegseth is making a habit of speechifying on the world stage in really disturbing ways.
Yeah,
He just gets the whole world mad at us.
like in Germany.
Well, he had another one of those sort of horrible speeches at this big gathering of Asian nations. And this is just a small tidbit from that speech. And again, it's more of a pet peeve than anything else. He said that the threat from China could be imminent. Okay, so Pete Hegseth doesn't know what imminent means
Yes.
or how to pronounce it.
Uh-huh.
And imminent is a whole nother word. Imminent means something is about to happen.
Right.
It's inevitable. It's imminent.
It's a done deal. A sure thing.
So he's wrong twice. Two ways he's wrong.
Yes. Uh-huh.
He said that the threat from China could be
Right.
imminent. No, you cannot qualify imminent. Something is either imminent or it's not imminent. There's no such thing as possible imminence. That's an oxymoron. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. Something is either imminent or it's not imminent. There's no such thing as somewhat imminent or possibly imminent.
Right.
He doesn't know what the word means.
Uh-huh.
So that's the first way he's wrong, or the second way, whichever. There are two
Okay.
ways he's wrong. The other way he's wrong is he mispronounced it. Eminent is an entirely different word, meaning something or someone is famous or respected.
Eminent.
The eminent Sir Elton John. Eminence. Fame.
Right.
It's an adjective of honor.
Right.
So the threat from China is not eminent, it's imminent. So either he doesn't know how to pronounce imminent, or he just literally doesn't know which word is which.
Yeah.
And I checked back because I wanted to make sure I just didn't mishear. I listened a couple of times, and he absolutely says eminent very clearly and intentionally. It's not even close.
Okay.
So that just annoys me,
Yeah. I can see that.
that someone in that position would do that. Could we please have some standards? I don't think it's asking that much that we have basic standards from someone in that high position,
Yeah, I agree.
giving a speech on the world stage. He's just a big dummy. And let me holler at the media for a little while. Every
Okay.
report I saw, every news story in print that I saw, quoted him as saying that the threat from China could be imminent, and they spelled it imminent, imminent,
So they corrected it.
when he did not, in fact, say that, not even close.
So they corrected him.
They fixed it for him
Yeah.
in the quote. Why do you do that, reporters, journalists? What are you doing? Didn't you hear what I heard? He clearly said eminent. He clearly used the wrong word. And you fixed it when you quoted him as saying imminent. He didn't say it.
Yeah, that's not right.
So why did every print news story I saw
And they all did it.
quote him as saying imminent
Wow.
when he clearly did not?
Yeah, that's not right.
Why did you fix that for him? Why did you give him cover? What you're supposed to do is print what he actually said. And then next to eminent, you put that little bracket, SIC bracket.
Yeah, sick.
You've seen that, right? Little bracket, SIC.
Sure.
It indicates that the speaker made an error. And we as journalists understand it's an error, either spelling mistake or grammatical mistake, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We understand it's an error. That's why we put it down as he said it with our little SIC notation.
Yeah. What does that sick mean?
I'm not exactly sure what SIC is short for, or
I don't know
I'm
either.
looking right now, according to Merriam-Webster, clarifies that the error is not a mistake on the part of the person quoting the text, but rather a feature of the original source. Yeah, that's just what I said.
Yeah.
As for the actual word or letters, SIC, I don't know where they originally come from.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But that's not important. You can look that up if you're curious. So, a pet peeve.
Pete Hegseth.
Why is the dummy Pete Hegseth allowed to be in this high position? And pet peeve number 2, what are you doing? Journalists, reporters,
Yeah.
editors, what are you doing? Do your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't provide cover for this guy. What are you doing?
I can't believe they all did that.
Okay, enough of my pet peeves. Here's another small story. Again, not really a story, just something I noted. There was a guy from the Heritage Foundation. I think it was maybe the PBS NewsHour. I forget where I saw him. He was defending this new State Department policy that combs social media posts with AI, especially of, they're talking about international students here. So yeah, it has this AI program, and they want to, MAGA and the Orange Menace and Little Marco want to vet all foreign or international students to make sure they're gung-ho pro-MAGA before they let them in. So they've got this AI thing where they can comb through all their social posts for anti-American and, quote, anti-capitalist beliefs.
Wait, what?
And boy, that really caught my ear.
Yeah. You have to be pro-capitalist.
Yeah, you can't be anti-capitalist if you want to be an international student in the United States. Either they won't let you in, or if you're already in, they'll deport you.
Wow.
Well, I am an anti-capitalist.
Me too.
I am a devout, vocal, enthusiastic anti-capitalist.
Yeah, we both are.
Does that make me anti-American?
I guess we are.
Am I a candidate for deportation?
Okay, come and get us.
Yeah, they just come right out and say these things now. These tests for ideological purity. Just saw a headline this morning that anybody applying for a job in the federal government has to write an essay. Literally, this is no exaggeration. They have to write an essay explaining how they support the president's agenda, or no job for you.
In the federal government.
Yeah. Fascist much? We're not.
Wow.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, side note, audio is superior to video.
Is it?
I've long been an advocate of audio only.
What makes audio better?
It has to do with how it enters your brain. Video is passive, audio is active.
Okay.
When you take in video through your eyeballs, don't ask me to be too precise about this, but this is what I've read.
Okay.
It enters your brain involuntarily. It's a passive activity for your brain. The information just goes right in, without any discernment of your own, without your brain having to do any work.
Okay.
Audio is very, very different. When you take in audio through your ears, it's an entirely different process that is conducted in your brain to take in the information. It's an active process.
So the retention is better, the process. I see.
So that's why I've always been an advocate for audio only. In the old days for radio over television. But now you always have a choice. You can get the audio podcast or you can get the video version. I highly recommend audio. I don't make a video version of this podcast. I believe in audio. I think it's superior. It also might be my natural modesty. I mean, I don't want to look at myself. Or to be honest, maybe it's my vanity. Maybe I feel like I don't look good enough.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm sure that's it.
I don't want to have to fix myself up and put on a nice shirt.
Oh, God forbid.
Anyway, side note.
Hey.
Did you hear that Harvard is offering free classes?
Oh, yeah. I heard about this.
I don't know how long they've been doing this, but it made some headlines recently, obviously because of the vicious attack on Harvard by the regime.
Right, yeah, of course.
Go to, let's see, where's the link? It's harvard.edu/catalog/free free.
Free classes.
Free classes.
This is great.
And they just,
right?
all over the map, all sorts of classes. But what really got some attention here is they're offering several government courses. So in addition to business and computers and health and just everything that you'd expect from a university, several classes like American Government Constitutional Foundations,
okay,
Citizen Politics in America, Public Opinion, Elections, Interest Groups, and the Media.
It sounds good.
U.S. Public Policy, Social, Economic, and Foreign Policies.
Yeah, these are great.
These are offered absolutely free of charge, full bona fide Harvard courses that you can take online.
Wow.
What a great thing.
It really is. And especially the government and politics. I mean, people just don't know. We don't know what we should know. So this is fantastic.
So please check that out.
You read that URL again?
harvard.edu/catalog/free.
All right. Nice.
Please do come over to Substack and to Blue Sky. That's where I am now. There's been a steady decline in my reach on Facebook for this podcast. I mean, I was planning on leaving Facebook anyway. I was just sticking around to kind of make the transition sort of slow. As I've said many times, I didn't want to leave people behind. But this may hasten my departure. I've noticed each week or each episode gets fewer and fewer interactions with friends and followers. Yeah, my Facebook reach is dropping consistently with every episode. So I don't know what they're doing over there. Of course, it's always best to subscribe to this podcast on whatever your favorite platform is, Apple or whatever. But if you rely on the links from your socials, don't count on Facebook. Please come over to Blue Sky, and especially to Substack. They're very different in style. Blue Sky is more of a Twitterish kind of thing. Substack is more long-form, essays, commentary, stories, etc., plus podcasts and videos. So I couldn't recommend highly enough. Substack is really where you want to be these days for excellent content. So, what's on your mind?
Well, speaking of being anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
This might be too big.
No, nothing's too big. Go ahead.
Okay, well, your favorite topic, money. It's really just all about the money at this point.
Yeah.
Well, we've got this long list of problems, right? And it can feel so daunting. Well, we got the fascism that we're living under and everything that goes along with that. But also, we got AI breathing down our necks. And a great number of people, maybe most people, I don't know, won't be needed for jobs the way we think about jobs now. Mm-hmm. And I should pause. I should stop here and say, I have a very positive vision about how this can all turn out.
Oh, well, that's good.
So I don't want to get lost in the doom and gloom of this.
Okay, good.
There's hope at the end. I promise.
Very happy to hear that. Good. Okay. So you're saying doom and gloom first.
Yeah, the problems we face are existential. There's no getting around it. The fascists, the oligarchs, the wannabe Tech-Bro Monarchs, that whole thing?
Sure, yeah.
They just want to have everything and rule everything, and we're just basically a bunch of drones, a bunch of pods. We just do whatever labor AI can't quite handle. I guess that's picking grapes. Maybe AI can't quite pick grapes yet.
Yeah.
So there'll be all these sort of horrible little menial jobs for us to do, but in the way we think of jobs now and the economy now, there really won't be anything for us to do
Yeah.
if we continue under this current path.
Right. But you said there's a happy ending? We're going to get to that pretty soon?
There is. There definitely is. But we'll finish the doom and gloom first.
Okay. All right. Finish the doom and gloom.
So there's the fascist regime,
Yeah.
loss of all rights, civil rights, political rights. Just, we're basically just slaves to this new fascist techno-monarchy. AI has been embedded into all government systems, so we're under constant surveillance. We have zero ability to exercise our First Amendment right to protest, the so-called redress of grievances. That's gone. And on top of all that, we have the climate crisis, which continues to be ignored and continues to be exacerbated by those in charge.
And take us back to the money. You said it's all about the money.
Well, yes, it is all about the money, because the motivation for all of these things is money and power. Now, it's hard to divide the two. I guess you really can't. In our current world, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
They want power, so they want money, or they want money, so they want power. It doesn't really matter which is which. It's all the same thing under our current system,
Right.
and that's what has to change. Well, we're all just literally gonna live as slaves or die painful deaths, and
So that's the worst case scenario.
that's the gloom and doom.
Yeah.
So we just have to get rid of money as an organizing principle, as a concept. We have to move beyond it. We don't have a choice anymore. There's no choice. They use this, fake populism to gain power. They ignore all laws. They're way past ignoring the customs and norms we keep hearing about.
Right.
Traditions, customs, and norms. Those are long gone. But now the law itself has been superseded just by raw, unbridled power. I mean, come on, we're told not to compare them to the Nazis. Well, actually, in a way, I agree. There's no comparison to the Nazis. This whole damn country is going to be one coast-to-coast concentration camp. Every one of us is going to be either enslaved or killed. We're all Winston Smith at this point.
Right. Yeah. George Orwell's
From
protagonist.
1984. So finally here I'll get to the solution that I believe is the only way out for us. We have to unplug. I'm not anti-technology, but as long as money is the central organizing principle of all of our lives, as long as money holds that position, technology can never be our friend. It can only be our master, and a cruel master at that. So we have to unplug. We have to dare to be human. And this, I think, is my bottom line. We just have to insist on being human.
Yeah.
We do. We need a modern Luddite movement. Now, there's no time to get into the whole thing, but the Luddites were not necessarily anti-technology.
No, that's right.
They just understood how technology in the hands of the robber barons, of the big bankers and the railroad moguls and the steel moguls, and technology in their hands was never going to serve us.
Yeah.
And of course, now we have couple hundred years of history to show us that the Luddites were absolutely right about this.
Right. And we're right back to square one here.
And people they have a misunderstanding because we haven't been taught the truth. No, it's not being anti-modern or anti-technology. It's anti-power. It's anti-money. And as I said before, I don't want to get everybody overloaded with all of these different problems because they're not different problems. Everything I've said is one single story. Everything can be distilled down to that one basic element. A handful of people want money and power, and right now under this system, they have the money and the power to do it. To enslave us, to kill us, to destroy all institutions that we once thought were there to serve us, including and especially the law itself.
Yeah.
The law itself cannot save us.
Yeah.
Because it will be subsumed by money.
If it hasn't been already.
Yeah. It's hanging on for dear life right now. The concept of law itself is hanging on for dear life. It's not gone yet, but it will be soon. Unless we do something about it. And that something is that we have to destroy the very concept of money.
Yep.
And then all the technology, the wonders of AI and social media. And I haven't even mentioned all the wonderful possibilities of advanced technology, especially in health and medicine, in the sciences generally. Getting things done that need to be done, the sort of drudgery work that the lower rungs of society have had to do from the very beginning.
So if AI is doing all the jobs, then what do we do?
Well, we can't have jobs, quote-unquote jobs, the way we think of them today. As I said earlier, most of us won't be needed for that. So we spend our days being human. Human to human, person to person interaction. Healthcare, childcare, elder care. We need each other. We can all be there for each other. It's really not that hard to imagine a world where technology serves us and not the other way around, where it's our friend.
Yeah.
So, you asked me what was on my mind. That's what's on my mind.
All right. Good.
And I have sort of the two extremes sharing this space in my mind right now. This absolute dystopian hellscape, where most of us are either enslaved or dead.
Yeah.
Or a pretty bright and shiny future, where we all have both the time and the resources to find our true potentials and to live with and among each other and to take care of each other and to eat healthy food and to breathe clean air.
Yeah.
There's just nothing standing in our way except one thing, and that's money.
Money. Yeah.
It's not complicated. It's money or it's us. One has to go.
All right. That was great. Thanks.
Okay, all right, well, good, thanks.
Thank you. We'll see ya.
I'll see ya.
This episode of Charles Purcell Presents is available right now wherever you find your podcasts, or go to the website charlespurcell.com for the full archive and all the other series in the podcast family. Follow me on Blue Sky and Substack. Write to me at charlespurcell@gmail. Thanks to our flagship terrestrial station, River West Radio, riverwestradio.com. Theme music composed and performed by Peter Donalds. From the New Arts and Media Studios in Milwaukee, I'm Charles Purcell.